Hello, everyone. Here's your weather hazard briefing for Friday, May 12th. Satellite, you'll notice we have our air low pressure still lifting northward over the high plains. That will continue to lift northward and weaken. And on the back side of that, you can already see northeast flow over our region. Once this low weakens, we will see a second low developing over portions of western and southwestern Wyoming in the next 24 hours and then quickly shift eastward along our southern border as we head into later tomorrow and heading into Sunday as well. Our key points with the forecast, with that low pressure shifting westward through the weekend, there's going to be a daily chance of showers and thunderstorms. And despite the slow moving through, it's going to be warmer. Tomorrow, with the low more overhead, probably within a degree or two down from where we will be today. But with that system coming through, we also have got to worry about some strong north to east winds developing, and we'll have to see. We'll have to take a look at things and see if we have going to have issues with blowing dust with the lack of pretty heavy precipitation in some areas over the past several days. Our weather risk outlook, we continue to advertise some breezy conditions through the weekend. The only places we're expecting showers and storms today will be over the southern and to some extent the eastern highlands and up around Gilmore Summit for this afternoon. And for tomorrow, with that low moving through, a little better chance area wide, and even with the low to the east on west on Sunday, a continued chance of showers and thunderstorms, and that trend does continue all the way into next week. Now, the low will be moving into the Pacific Northwest, but it's actually, once it gets to our west, we're going to see more moisture moving up here for continued showers and thunderstorms. Right now, on a daily basis, we're not looking at necessarily anything that's going to could be deemed heavy precipitation, but some rain showers will be out there. And don't be shocked if you get a heavier shower or storm, you get a much heavier downburst than the general forecast it will be calling for over the next several days. So looking at where things will be going for today in terms of how we're watching things develop. For this afternoon, you'll notice we have a few showers and storms over western Wyoming, southwest Montana, and some of that will be shifting into the southeast corner late this afternoon, this evening, and certainly up along the Montana border as well. And actually, as that low develops, we're going to keep a little better chance of rain showers going overnight down around Bear Lake, the southeast corner. And as we go through the overnight hours, that continues to shift east and actually gain some strength as it moves from east to west over the area. Going into tomorrow, the best chance will be across the southeast corner. There may be a few little showers here and there elsewhere across the area overnight into tomorrow, but you'll notice that is shifting towards southwest Idaho, that main area of precipitation. That's going to be along our southern areas. That's where we'll see the best chance of any precipitation tomorrow. A few showers and storms will develop elsewhere, but more concentrated to the south. Going into tomorrow evening, Saturday evening, we continue to see pockets of showers and some evening thunderstorms in that forecast. So certainly, and like I said, the low is to our west over by Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, but that does not bring the chance of showers and thunderstorms to the end for us here in central and eastern Idaho. Now, we've talked about the winds picking up, and you'll notice there's that north to northeast gradient today. The strongest winds up around spilling out of Limhi County, also coming across the Montana border. Some of those gusts 35 to 40 miles per hour, but you'll notice they will be increasing during the day elsewhere and spreading off to the south. Many areas seeing gusts 25 to 35 miles per hour as we go into this afternoon. Temperature-wise for today, we're looking at still plenty of 50s and 60s over the area. Stanley Basin in the low 60s, low 70s for Chalice up in Salmon. Mid-70s once you get down into the lower Snake Plain over into the Magic and Treasure Valleys as well, and also heading down towards Oakley and Malta. Some of the warmer temperatures for today will be in those areas. Continuing to go look at the wind overnight, you notice the winds continue to strengthen and spread off to the south and to the west as that low continues to develop and strengthen and move our direction. Some of those gusts were running 30 to 40 miles per hour. A little stronger gusts in some of our higher elevations, and also again spilling out of Limhi County and up along the Montana border as well. And that will continue this evening and into the overnight hours. And for tomorrow morning, this will be when we see some of the more widespread gusts tomorrow morning into tomorrow afternoon. We may be dealing with a borderline wind advisory event coming across the Arco Desert, also into the lava beds around Shoshone. We'll have to continue to take a look at that and see how the wind forecast trends. But gusts of 30 to 40, 45 miles per hour, maybe a few spots 45 to 50 across the Arco Desert into the lava beds heading into tomorrow morning and afternoon. Temperature-wise, with that low over us, we're going to be within a degree or two of where we are today. Some places might be a little cooler, might be a little bit warmer. It's just all going to depend on the timing of any cloud cover, any showers and thunderstorms that develop across the area. We continue to watch the winds, and you'll notice some pretty decent winds tomorrow night, especially over the central mountains and across the Snake Plain, the Arco Desert. And you'll notice we have another area of really strong winds developing down around Bear Lake. A lot of times with these easterly wind events starting into the Bear Lake area, especially along the Bear River Range, the Wasatch, and just immediately either side of that range, and down into Utah, we get some pretty nasty easterly winds at times, and that looks to be the case with this storm, with this low moving through. But you'll notice some pretty good gusts in excess of 40 miles per hour over the central mountains and near 50 miles an hour down in the southeast corner. Going into tomorrow night, early Sunday morning, the winds do taper off over a good chunk of the Snake Plain, but you can see those higher winds over the lava beds, 40 to 50 miles per hour, if not gusting a little bit higher. And again, down around the Bear River Range and immediately on the Cache Valley side, some pretty strong winds right in that immediate area for tomorrow evening and tomorrow night. And into Sunday, that trend continues. The strongest winds will be starting to spread westward as the low moves to the west, but still some very strong gusts again down in the southeast corner and across the Magic Valley over into the Treasure Valley as well. Highs on Sunday, we'll start to pick it back up a little bit, a couple of degrees, plenty of low to mid 70s over the area. 50s and 60s in some of our colder spots we've had over the past several days, and typically still in this type of pattern. We warm it up on Monday. We're finally getting some 60s down in the southeast corner and up around Island Park. The only place we're probably looking at 50s will be the highest elevations of the Central Mountains and up around Bora as well. Otherwise, near 80 on Monday for salmon, low 80s from Pocatello westward as well. And Tuesday, we continue to push those temperatures up a couple of degrees. But again, a daily chance of showers and thunderstorms. And with these warmer temperatures coming, and that's going to be driving the flooding potential more than we have seen over the past several days with the better potential for rain and the cooler temperatures across the area. So we continue with the same places that we've had flood advisories and warnings going over the past few days. We're in minor flood stage for the Blackfoot River above the reservoir, and it's going to stay that way over the next several days. The Bear River down at the Idaho-Wyoming border, we're backing it down a little bit towards the low end of minor, but we're going to see that trend turning the other direction as we head into the early part of next week. Down towards Marsh Creek, the McCammon area, south down towards Downey, we're still seeing some flooding, and the gauge there near McCammon's flirting right at the low end of action stage there, and that trend should continue in the next week, if not seeing it come up a little bit more with snow to melt in that part of eastern Idaho. Along the Portneuf River, we're at or just below action stage. That's not really going to change over the next few days. And at Topaz, we're solidly into action stage, and that will continue in the early part of next week. And if trends continue, we should actually go back up into minor flood stage by the middle part of next week. Looking at some more of our river gauges here where we have our ongoing flooding issues. Looking at the Portneuf, we continue solidly in moderate flood stage, but you'll notice heading into next week, we're going to start pushing towards the low end of moderate into the high end of minor flood stage and kind of stay there over the next 5 to 10 days with the continued snow melt coming from upstream in southeast Idaho. Looking at the Big Wood River at Haley, we continue to see the climb back up towards minor flood stage over the next 5 to 10 days. And we may, after that, towards the end of that period, get up to moderate. We'll just have to see how things go in terms of snow melt and any precipitation and how warm we do get up in the Wood River Valley and the surrounding mountainous areas there. And lastly, looking at the Herrings Fork and near Rexburg, we continue to see that going towards action stage right around the end of the 5 to 10 day forecast period. There's still about a 50 to 60% chance after that period we go into minor flood. We'll just have to watch how things go as we trend through time here. So certainly the flooding is not coming to an end where it is ongoing right now, and we may see more flooding occurring as we get the warmer temperatures to return and increasing that chance of snowmelt and runoff. So once again, things will be kind of showery and stormy over the weekend and into next week as low pressure shifts west. Normally we see stuff coming from the west. This is going from east to west over the area. We will still see those warmer temperatures. We're going to have to deal with some winds, though, starting later on today and continuing through the weekend. We might have to look at some wind advisory headlines and also potential of blowing dust across the area. Have a great Friday, and do stay safe out there, everyone.